I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the New Orleans Saints. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the 7th overall pick in 2018 from Wyoming. It's Josh Allen.
I know teams always talk about having a 24-hour rule after a game, and eventually we end up rolling our eyes. But it works both ways, right? 24 hours if you win, 24 if you lose. But, boy, it's a fun 24 when you win the game. And you win NFC Offensive Player of the Week, isn't it?
Absolutely. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace. Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the 1st.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Looking left side, and it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Going to try the right side. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Gets this one to Hill. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tyreek Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
So here come the Saints now for their first drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on. We know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Back to throw. Costello. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now one in the first quarter. What do they do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. We had 4 in the game last week without having some go-to moves with counters.
Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Pick me up. Here we go. Say. Shoot.
On second down, Waller. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the gun, Costello. Got his man, that's Harry. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd down now, Waller. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, Costello. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Darius Slayton, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field, and they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. They run it with Balaj. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 36, Allen. That one complete to Hill. And some room to maneuver. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. They'll run here with Balaj. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
56.
Now Balaj. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Here we go.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And here's Allen to throw again. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Mecole Hardman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Go now. 18 Gators. 54. Here we go. Five.
On 1st down, Costello. Catch is made by Harry. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a man open down the middle of the field. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Let's go. 50, play.
54 miles. Let him know.
From the gun, Costello. He's got his man. That's Wallace. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Looking to throw. Costello. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Saints in the hurry up here, clock continuing to roll. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw. Costello. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They run the counter. Dudley. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is taken at the 18. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48 and a return of 8. And the Bears take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack on 1st down, Allen. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. Nicole Hardman in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So we have come to halftime, and what's all... Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And maybe he's starting to wave the white. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun. Costello. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at the 45. The drive will commence with a run by Balaj. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 14 yards in a Chicago first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Allen now on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
On first down, Allen. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
Now Allen throwing again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And he's going to go down again.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I'm ready.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Costello, and he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. So they go with the empty set, and that's the risk you run right there. Nobody was there to protect.
Well, you know how most offenses have audibles, and they've changed plays when they see certain sets. A lot of defenses do the exact same thing. You go to an empty back set, they bring pressure, and boy, did it pay off in this case.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Now a handoff here to his running back. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, Costello, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
him. No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective. Right now, they've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd down. Allen. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 14 yards into Chicago, 1st down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Hey, watch it, watch it. On the ball. 56, 56. Motion, motion, motion.
Again, it's Balaj. He's to the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Undercross, recon, 132 fighter. Alert, alert, alert.
Allen gonna throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. George Kittle, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Bears push further out in front. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Looking to throw. Costello. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. They'll start with a give here to Balash. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock with a 2-minute warning. Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Costello. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Costello looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing on 3rd and long. Costello. And he's got him. It's caught. in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. N'Keal Harry, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one...
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
Well, they tried to get two and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And to give this time to the tailback. And some space here. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Kalen Balaj, his fifth touchdown now on the year. As the Bears push further out in front. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
Now, I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone...
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. N'Keal Harry with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Saints get a bit closer. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Allen now looks to throw. Completes it to Hardman. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. And Allen is actually going to throw it here. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Hey, Orbit. Hey, home. Check.
To throw again, Allen. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, Echo. Motion to backfield. Motion to the backfield. Play 56.
Now Allen again. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.